So we're here with Eddie. It's Wednesday afternoon. We're actually not in Philadelphia anymore. We're in Wilmington, Delaware, because we are spending the evening at Delaware Park, going to do some migrant ministry with Father Chris Pash, who is a Franciscan based in Wilmington. But we're going to take a few minutes and meet with Eddie. Eddie, why don't you just tell us about yourself first? You know, what year are you at Buff State? What's your major? Etc.
I'm a senior at Buffalo State. I have one more semester left, and I'm a psychology major with a minor in deviance.
Great. What do you hope to do once you're graduated?
So many options, but I'm hoping to work in drug and alcohol counseling of some sort. Possibly, like also with people who are also diagnosed with mental disorder.
Now, what's interesting is last night, Eddie, you went to Narcotics Anonymous, correct?
It was a mix of both, but mainly AA.
Oh, so Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yes.
Was this the first time you'd been to a meeting like
Yes.
this? Well, what was it like? Tell us some of your reactions.
It was really neat. It was a little bit of a smaller crowd compared to when we went earlier just to visit. It was a mix of men and women. Everyone was pretty much different. A lot of young people, like people my age, maybe even younger. It was really neat. It was very open, and I expected it to be very, like, most people talk about AA and they think that it's very hard line to like Christian ideals, but it was very open to just like fulfilling like a spiritual emptiness that people have in a different way rather than you trying to use alcohol. And it was a very open experience, very friendly. Everyone was real nice to each other, buying each other coffee and food, and it was a good time. Everyone was very open and just there to just share their experience and let them know that when they're willing to get help and when they're willing to change and make better and make their life better, that place is there for them to walk in and for them to get that help that they need.
You had mentioned last night about the people at the meeting, that they were like people that you had served that night, but they're also people that you had worked with at the end. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
I can't remember the guy's name, but one of the guys we had served with the other day, he had come in and he had been going to AA for a long time. It was really nothing new to him. And it was just neat to see him in a different light rather than just, helping and serving. And to see him pretty much do the same thing, but for people who have like specific issues with alcohol and drugs. And it was just neat to hear him share his experiences. And the one thing that you kept seeing constantly there is that no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, you may think you're unique and that your problem is special and different from everybody else's, and you may feel alone, but you're not. But there are plenty of other people who have the same issues. And that was cool to see. And then to see some of the people that come and have just get food there, like the guy who ran the desk, he had come in even today to get breakfast. And it was just nice to see him there. And it's nice to know that that's another place that they can just walk in and get help. And that was a very large theme within the meeting itself. People kept saying how they would go to the St. Francis Inn and that after, especially like while they're trying to get help. And some people found God, some people didn't. But I mean, for other people, for most people, it was just whatever they needed to change, and that whatever that was, it didn't matter that there were people there to help them no matter what. Right. So it's really cool.
We should also say that the Narcotics Anonymous and Alcohol Anonymous, it's not based through the St. Francis Inn, but it is right across the street. Is that correct?
Yes.
But they are different programs, right?
Yes, completely different.
Great.
But part of AA for a lot of people is not necessarily finding God, but having a closer relationship to God and realizing that they can use that to help them with their issues. Which was very cool, and I think that St. Francis Inn is definitely has helped people beyond what AA can do.
Wow.
Which was very cool, and especially since a lot of the people that were at the St. Francis Inn, like not even just volunteers and people who just come to get food, but also even some of like the friars have had issues there, and they're there to also help, and they've been through the same thing. So it's good to talk to somebody who's suffering with the same issues that they were. So
great.
It seemed really helpful.
At the beginning of this week, in our reflection time, we talked about having aha moments and being open to when the Spirit was moving, and all of a sudden you were just like, aha, I get it. Have you had any moments like that, or what have been special moments for you this week?
Gosh, so many things have happened. Gosh, That's a really difficult question. I've had a lot of aha moments. I don't know. That's a lot harder than I thought.
It's okay. You can take a second and think about it.
The biggest thing for me, I don't know if you would call it an aha moment, but it's just appreciating the very simple little things in life, like clothing and food that many of us take for granted so easily. And it's really easy to do that. It's very, very easy. But to see people who don't have such a simple thing as a meal throughout the day, and they don't even know when they're going to get their next meal, just to see that definitely makes me like think of just things like food in a different way. Makes me not want to, just pig out and eat everything. I mean, obviously that's not necessarily going to help anyone either way, but it definitely makes me appreciate food on the table a lot more than I think I ever have. And clothing too, no matter what that clothing is, as long as it's something just to even keep you warm.
Good.
So, yeah.
You have done service before. You've gone on ASBs with the Newman Center before, and you've also you volunteered a lot in New Orleans and Gulfport after Katrina. What is the difference between this trip and those trips?
The major difference for me has been when we were in Mississippi, we did a lot of roofing. When I was in New Orleans, we worked on a battered women's shelter, and that was mainly what we had done throughout the week. The difference there was that that even though we were doing something, we didn't necessarily get the chance to really see these people, to get a chance to sit down and talk to them. I mean, I got that in Gulfport a little bit, and we heard quite a bit of stories from people. But here you really get to see them face to face, and we see some of these people day in, day out, or just in the beginning of the day and then later in the day for separate meals. And that, I think, is a huge difference, because it's just a larger connection to the actual person rather than just like doing something. And you don't really, the benefit of talking to someone and understanding their experience and just sitting back and treating them like everybody else, because I think that a lot of those people, you can tell that they don't get that. And just because of some of their issues, people just kind of shun them away. And St. Francis Inn definitely is a place that's nothing like that. It doesn't matter what you look like or what you're wearing or if you smell or if you're dirty. It doesn't matter. You come in, you sit down, and it's just like having a nice little family get-together dinner. It was really cool. And that was really huge for me, because I've never worked in a food pantry before, ever. I've always wanted to. It's always been something that I thought was really cool. And this is just amazing in itself, because most of them are different. You sit in you're in like a cafeteria setting, and you got like a line of people sitting by themselves. Here there's a lot of sharing and a lot of people sitting around exchanging phone numbers, talking, helping each other out. And it's good to know that, for those people to know that they're not the only ones. And I think that's the biggest thing getting out of a lot of this, is that they're not alone in their problems and their issues. And that's definitely a good thing to feel. It definitely helps bring you up rather than bring you down without that.
What do you think about the Franciscan influence, or the focus on God, both this week through our reflection and also through our ministries?
I really never knew anything about St. Francis prior to going here, and I think it's very, very awesome, like just learning about that whole I don't know what you want to call it, ideology,
tradition, spirituality.
Yeah. I thought that I had never known anything like that, and I thought it was really neat that just emphasizing on living a simple life and like living your life to help others. It's great. It's very, very great, and it's something that we all want to do and that we all strive to do. We all strive to obviously be good people, at least most of us. And seeing these people just spend every waking moment helping another person is really amazing, and that's really all that St. Francis is about. Taking your shirt off and putting it on somebody else who needs one, clothing people who need to be clothed, feeding people who need to be fed. And I think that's really important, and a lot of people are very, very far from even thinking about that. And just the simple thought of it in itself and then doing it really makes you realize how much better off you are, or most people, especially than some of these people. So that was good.
Do you have anything else? Any other comments or things you would like to share?
I don't know, just volunteering in general and just is a good thing, but I think that even if you aren't volunteering, if you see somebody who needs help, and don't be afraid to talk to them. Don't be afraid to just walk up and say hi, because chances are they might say hi to you. And sometimes that's all somebody needs. It's just a hello, just a smile, just to know that they're not alone in this world, because that's really what drags people down. So.
That's wonderful. We thank Eddie. He has been wonderful to have on the trip. He's been a quiet, hard worker, and we've also watched him grow in immense ways, and we're very happy that he is here. So thank you so much, Eddie.
Thank you.